Welcome back to Magma Family Gaming. I am Vincent, and to give a little background, I had kind of found myself, I would say, orphaned when it comes to card games recently. There was a few things in some of the games that I wasn't enjoying and was continuing to play, and so then I kind of decided to reach out and see what else there was out there. One of my buddies had reached out and had suggested Flesh and Blood as the game to move to. The resource system was one of the biggest draws when it came to Flesh and Blood, and I had looked at Digimon as well, and that also had a very unique system to it as well. But after kind of talking with some of the groups around, it sounded like Digimon still also kind of had a oppressive gameplay at times where it would almost kind of stop you from playing, whereas a ban was just dropped for Flesh and Blood that really opened up the playing field and opened up the meta. So fast forward a couple of weeks, and I was lucky enough to jump into the game when there was a pre-release that was going to be happening. The Rosetta set for Flesh and Blood is coming out this week, and I was able to play in a pre-release that was quite a distance away just because there's nothing local, like very local in this area. So we did make plans to head out there, and that was my Saturday. These are also the cards that I'm showing off at the moment too. I was trying to, right now, I'm going to be kind of messing with a deck that I think I should have been playing. What was cool is that you got 8 packs in this. There was, again, I believe 45 minutes for deck building, and the store actually had 40 minutes for the first round, just to kind of have the players get used to the cards, which I don't think any of the games went to time. All of them did seem to go pretty quick, so it looked like everyone kind of understood what was going on with it. One of the cool things about deck building was it is exactly 30 cards, but then you also had your hero, your weapon, and then some armor and equipment if you had any. What was cool about that is being able to really choose the hero that you had to, which the story at the pre-release that I had kind of was the same at a lot of them, where there was a hero that was almost determined to be the best from the get-go. However, the funny thing is that that hero actually didn't win first place in our tournament. After going over a guide and kind of talking with my buddy on the drive up to the tournament, I kind of had an idea of how I needed to break the cards into piles. When it came to this is wizard cards, this is lightning action or lightning cards. Once that was broken down, you kind of went through and decided, okay, which do you have the best combination for, or some of the better cards in. I actually went against the grain and went with Aurora for my build, which honestly, if I had built the one that was built most, the most common one, Florian, I don't think I would have had as much fun as I did with Aurora. I've only been in the game for a couple of weeks, but I did find that her playstyle was more appealing to me, and I had a lot more fun kind of going wide instead of kind of the Florian of trying to be a little more tricky. It was more fun to be tricky playing zero cost spells than it was being tricky trying to build into a one or a couple of good turns. And with that, it was honestly a lot of fun. Like I said, Aurora, I was playing that, and kind of thinking that that might even be the option that I kind of go with when I start building into a deck. I've only been into the game for a couple weeks, and really something like Kasai was one of the ones that was really drawing me to into it. But also kind of seeing the Guardian plays of being able to do the blocking and then one big damage spell did seem really fun too, which I didn't get to experience at this pre-release, possibly in one of the future ones, or even at just local events. My opponents were honestly super helpful, and they were really willing to kind of help along as well. I had been playing only online, so this was my first in-person event, and the first round actually faced someone who I guess was deemed one of the best at the store, or possibly the best at the store, and kind of getting pretty even with him was actually really fun. We definitely talked about it afterwards, and then kind of edited the deck for the pre-release based on what his input was. I did end up going 0-3, but all 3 games were pretty even, except for one where my second round Florian kind of got all his pieces very early, and I was not really able to recover from that. I still was able to deal about half damage, but it was in the turns that were way too late, and I was trying to be way too defensive later on. It was overall a great experience. I highly recommend it, and I am planning on trying to get a local scene, or at least a few locals into it. I do know that some of the people at one of the game stores that I go to currently, they have played it in the past, and it sounds like a couple of them might still keep up with it, so I think that's going to be really enjoyable. Thank you for hanging out and letting me share some of my experience with Flesh and Blood. I plan on that to be a more regular thing, and I might even kind of start talking about what's going on with when I start going to the local store and trying to get like a scene kind of together for it. So thank you again, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a great day.